Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well.
You will own nothing and you will not be happy.
Yeah, you will own nothing and not be happy. 2030, boom. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Well, me and this guy reckon you won't be happy. Is a phrase originating from the 2016 World Economic Forum (WEF) prediction regarding a future sharing economy where goods are accessed as services. It becomes a more focal point for critics and conspiracy theorists, often linked to the Great Reset. Well, they mentioned that as well. Do you know what I mean? That was another thing that they mentioned, the Great Reset. I'll make a video in a moment that'll kind of go into the last reset and yeah, what to do with Manchester, to be honest. But also the world fairs and various other things. I'll make that video after this one. So, you'll own nothing and be happy was the claim here by the big wigs here, the Economic Forum. King Charles is in there, remember? I think he's one of the people who fucking set the thing up in the first place. So, don't be thinking you're getting any help from the royals. So you're all nothing. Be happy again, 2030 again. If you see what's kind of happening with the economy, and you follow the channel and you follow the fucking national debt here, and everything we've been saying for quite a while, and we keep giving all our money to foreigners as well, and that's another issue there. Yeah, we're definitely on this path again, and now World War Three started, and the oil crack, and everything's going up again. Apparently, yeah, we're definitely on this steady path to owning fuck all and probably not being happy about it. So, again, this isn't my plan. Again, it's not only me that's completely aware of this plan, as this guy sat here in this chair in Mexico also knows the exact same plan. So, we're just going to have a listen, really. The channel's A Broke Millionaire. I think he's just joking, really. A Broke Millionaire, 18,000 subscribers. As he said, you'll own nothing and be fucking miserable here, and because the rich people will be happy, the rich people will be real fucking happy. This is why I keep saying again about people fighting the wrong battles here, like the migrants and the left wing. That's all bullshit. You do not fight the fucking global powers here who are in charge of the fucking economy and the wars. We're going right down the fucking toilet here, to be honest. You'll be lucky to survive. You know what I mean? So let's have a lot listen to this anyhow.
You will own nothing and you will not be happy. So let me show you how they're doing it slowly and ever so secretly. And so right now, you're paying monthly for things that your parents owned. Your car, your software, your music, your doorbell. We used to buy things, and now we pay a subscription to get access to them. And the second you stop paying, it all disappears. And they called it progress.
Yeah, but really, it keeps you on the wheel, keeps you on the rat race here. I mean, that's what a mortgage is as well. Mortgage, where do you put dead bodies? The mortgage, death grip. Yeah, it keeps you on the wheel, on the rat race again, paying taxes, generating the economy of shit here, of fucking the economy of debt. They need all the slaves on the wheel for the wheel to keep turning, so to speak. So, but making sure you have to rent everything and you have to pay monthly for all this stuff. You've got to keep working to get the money to pay all this stuff. You know what I mean? Or, I mean, if you're on the dole or whatever, you can still pay, I suppose. You just can't get as much. But obviously, they're keeping you a revenue stream. I mean, this has been said about the pharmaceutical industry for 30 to 40 years at this point. They don't cure you of anything. They treat you because once you cure somebody, well, they piss off and you don't get any more money off them. So if you treat them, they keep coming back for more. So the world's unfortunately a capitalist society is bad in many ways. To be honest, again, the whole pharmaceutical industry is corrupt because of it. Again, we have wars because weapons manufacturers make a lot of money when we have wars. So a lot of people make a lot of money out of the bad times here. You know what I mean? So, fucking welcome to planet Earth, innit? Fucking, as we know, it is a shit show. So, yeah, again, subscriptions for everything now. When I was young, and as he was saying there, when you bought something, you owned it. You bought a record, it was your record. You bought anything you bought, you owned it. You know what I mean? Now, fucking subscriptions for everything, for Netflix, for fucking Spotify, for you name it. The subscription for Man and Boy here. So yeah, he's bang on. He's absolutely bang on. And again, you will own nothing. Again, this is a way of owning nothing. You will rent everything. And as we've mentioned, if you're not a good little slave, then you're not allowed to rent certain things. They'll take things off you. So ultimately, you have to do as you're fucking told all the time, everybody. And in a totalitarian world government, which is where we're going, that's going to be real bad for all the peasants, real bad indeed. You're talking like a Hitler scenario, except this time Hitler's won. So, and you're not on board with Hitler here, so it won't go well for you. Do you know what I mean? Again, there's very good evidence that these people were behind Nazi and Hitler, and they funded both sides, and Hitler lost, so they just cracked on. Do you know what I mean? They didn't care that in effect the Second World War was really about putting Israel back in the land there. So you needed a conflict big enough to justify that Israel going back in the land through their persecution in the fucking concentration camps there. Although there is evidence that Hitler was shipping Jews back to Israel long before the war, and in fact the Jews that he was killing weren't proper Jews. They were actually Russian Jews who weren't actually Jews. They just converted to Judaism and in effect weren't real Jews. So that's another conspiracy theory if you want, about like same as Hitler's grandmother there and the Rothschilds in Holland. But yeah, that's one of the tales as well. So yeah, you'll learn fucking nothing here. You can be fucking happy about it. Let's play a bit more.
But what they actually did was turn your entire life into a monthly bill. And so stick with me, because in a few minutes, I'm going to tell you what it's really about. And it's not about money. It's more
About control, power.
accurately about power and who has it and who doesn't. So I live here in Baja, Mexico, and I own my time. I own my space. I own the things that I use. I don't subscribe to them. I don't rent them. I don't lease them. And that allows me freedom to do what I want, when I want. And now that used to be normal, but now it seems somehow radical. 20 years ago, you bought a CD for 15 bucks. You owned it. You bought a car and you owned it forever until you wanted to sell it to someone else. You saved up, you bought things, and no one could take those things away. No one could shut them down so you couldn't get access to them. Once you bought it, you owned it. You had autonomy. But around 2010, that started to change. Companies realized, why sell you something when they could just charge you for it forever? But you see, the villain in this story is not the company. It's this business model. It's the subscription economy. But the problem was that model spread to everything. And companies realized that they could even reach into housing and buy up housing. And then people would really, really be under their control. I think I heard something about a coffee maker that had a subscription service. And so here's the thing that they don't tell you, is that when you subscribe to everything, you own nothing. And when you own nothing, then you are completely dependent. And that becomes a problem. So here's what's actually happening. When you own something, you have power over it. When you don't own something, then the company that you rent from, subscribe to, has power over you. They decide.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're not a good little slave, they'll take it all off you again, right up to your possible house. And again, there's a long way to go down the road here before we actually get to you owning nothing. In fact, there's 3 years and about 9 months. And in the current climate of fucking bagwash news every single day, that much you can't fucking keep up with it. 3 years, 9 months, a real fucking long time round these parts at the moment. So yeah, you'll own nothing and be happy again. They weren't the Economic Forum weren't fucking around when they said that. You know what I mean? These people don't fuck around. Like when they tell you what they're doing, they tell you what they're doing. You know what I mean? These are the people who run the world. The fucking the Economic Forum, the fucking United Nations here. You know what I mean? Yeah, when they tell you what they're doing, they tell you what they're doing. They're not fucking about here. This is what we're doing. You're gonna own fuck all. We're gonna be in control of everything and the masters of the universe. And we're all fucking satanic paedophiles, by the way. So watch out for a fucking shit show commencing fucking regularly. Plus, based on everything we witnessed there a few videos ago about building a society and needing a common enemy and having to have trauma, and you can't have the perfect life because of experiment 20 or 25, was it, with the rats? And every time they give the rats the perfect life, it all went to shit. So these people in charge feel the need to cause trauma to the public because that's how you keep society on the fucking wheel here. So yeah, again, you're being run by the sickest people with the fucking worst ideologies you can possibly imagine. I mean, they are Satanists. So expect a shit show, and again, I said in the last video, like that's now what you've got. You've got a full-on shit show. Every single day now is a shit show. So yeah, I just thought again I'd give this video a mention because I'm not making all this up. Do you know what I mean? Like this is a well-known thing that's happening because they fucking said it in 2016, for fuck's sake, which was 10 years ago. 10 years ago. So it was mentioned again during COVID, and they also mentioned the Great Reset during COVID as well. So yeah, and we've had a reset before. My next video will be about Manchester and just the old world buildings as well, and the map of Manchester in the 1700s there. There's fuck all of it. There's fuck all of Manchester. So there was basically nobody lived there. So if you go back to sort of the 1500s, then there was probably but like again, we think history, we've been lied to about history here, and everything kind of started up around the 1500s here. Well, Manchester won't have existed before then, so where the fuck was everybody in England, you know what I mean? So it's like England didn't have a population at all, really, in the 1700s. So, and again, why the fuck they're building all these buildings with fucking no populations here and no fucking electric and tools? None of this makes sense. So I'll get into that on the fucking next video anyway. So yeah, you're still owning nothing here. Nothing's changed. I don't see anybody's fixed the problem here. We're still owning nothing. We're on a fast track to fucking Bagwashville here, and nobody's stopping the train.
Decide the price and if they'll raise it. They decide the terms and they will change them. And most of us don't even read the terms. In fact, I found myself looking at credit cards and finding out that they had doubled the interest rate on me without even telling me because it was somewhere buried in the terms that I didn't read. And so you know what this actually sounds like? It sounds like we're going back to feudalism. In the Middle Ages, lords owned everything. And the peasants had to pay to live on the property. They paid with labor.
Yeah, but that is the case anyway. Again, I've mentioned this for a while, but the royal family are the power here. They're on all the fucking money. They live in castles. It's called the king. It was called the queen. The armed forces swear allegiance to her, not us or him now. It's called His Majesty's government, and the actual government is the royal families. So they're really the power, and my claim is, and I'm fucking bang on to be honest, because if you look past the slight bullshit lie that they have no power is literally the lie. If you look slightly past that bullshit, you can see that they very much do have power. You know what I mean? So the royal family have always owned everything, all of the land, and they still do now. Even if you think you own your house, you don't. Because if you own something, you wouldn't have to pay any money to anybody. Now you have to pay council tax, right? You have to pay for the land. You're sitting on the land. You don't own the land. You own about what 1 or 2 inches of topsoil where your house is, and then if there's any minerals underneath that land and the government want them, it's buy house. They'll just take it off you. So you don't really own your house. It's all a big fugazi. It's a lie. Again, if you own something, you wouldn't have to pay anybody anything, but you have to pay council tax every month, all year, every year. And if you don't, you get in real fucking trouble for it, to be honest. So kind of proof you don't own your house. It's all a lie. Long in the making. Again, it's. I'll maybe make a video on it, to be honest. Again, there's a real good channel. I don't know if I've mentioned it before. It kind of deals with the Tartaria thing as well. And he goes into how you've absolutely been hoodwinked on fucking everything going from like, again, it was done before we were born. All this was set up long before we were born. You're talking in like the 1800s, the early 1900s. It was all set up for us to fail and the rich people to succeed. And to over the course of time, our entire lives and our parents and possibly even our grandparents, they've used fake money that's not really worth anything, that's bits of paper or now bits of plastic. They've used this system to buy everything up of worth by giving out all of this plastic and paper, which they print. They've given it all out to buy up everything of worth. So now, at the end of this game, they will own everything. We will own nothing. They've done it legally because we played along with the economy. We absolutely played along with all of this. They will own nothing. We will own nothing. They will own everything, and we will in effect be their slaves. And we always have been. And it used to be a lot worse. People fought a long time for the freedoms we have today, and they're about to take them all off us. And we're going back to times possibly what 150 years ago, possibly. It might not be quite as bad. They might not send children to fucking work here at fucking 5 and 6 year old in factories. You might not get that end of it, but it'll be just as bad in different ways, in a more technological way. I mean, again, I've mentioned this many a time. George Orwell's 1984. Go and read George Orwell's 1984, and that's what's coming. And and as I've mentioned many times as well, nobody is going to like the New World Order. Nobody. It's going to be awful for the peasants. Awful. So yeah, fucking thanks zombies. You know what I mean? We tried to tell you for fucking 20 years here that it was all going to shit, and the life that you lost in there is getting fucking eradicated here. But you wouldn't listen. Absolutely wouldn't listen there. Blindly into the night. It's kind of a case of revolt now or forever live in tyranny here, basically. Revolt now or forever live in tyranny. And the British people are too busy fighting amongst themselves, the left and the right wing there. Again, I keep mentioning this, that nobody's paying attention to the biggest problem we have, the global elite, the satanic paedophiles in the Epstein rings here. This is the biggest problem we have because they control the world and this is their plan. So, yeah, again, if you don't pick your battles, you know what I mean? Pick your battles. You can wipe out Antifa tomorrow, you can get rid of all the migrants, and you're still in the shit here, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it was fucking Bagwash Alley, population fucking 9 billion here, 9 billion.
And yet today, we're voluntarily giving it all back without even realizing it. So remember what I said at the start about how they're turning our entire lives into monthly bills? Well, that's kind of why I moved to Baja, where I could own things, because I owned them, then I had to maintain them and I had to fix them. Oh, and when I talk about owning things, I don't just mean the land. I mean, I own my electrical system. I put in solar. So I live off grid. I own my water system. So my shower, my toilets, my kitchen sink, all of that stuff. And so if it breaks, then I'm responsible for it.
Yeah, well, that's the crack. If you own it, you've got to pay to fix it or buy a new one here, but you're not dependent on the system. And when the system attempts to fuck you, which it is, at least you're undeterred here. You know what I mean? You can carry on with your life. And again, I mean, doing everything that he's doing massively hinges on living somewhere warm. Do you know what I mean? That massively helps here. Britain isn't the place to attempt to do this kind of shit here. You will fucking freeze to death in winter. A hot climate, and especially even when it's semi-warm in winter, well, you're fucking semi-laughing, aren't you? Especially with like heating bills as well. As this all goes to shit, the people in Spain, as etc., won't suffer with the fucking heating bills quite as much as the people in Britain and Scotland here. You know what I mean? So location, 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 very much as well, depending on how shit it will get for you. And it'll get real shit here in Britain in winter, I would imagine. So, I'm going to leave it there, to be honest. Again, more of the video if you want to come and watch it. The Broke Billionaire, nearly, well, 18,000 subscribers. You will own nothing and be miserable. And yeah, again, the claim is you'll be happy, but, I mean, base that on the fact that you survived the fucking Third World War and an economic collapse here, possibly. I mean, you might be semi-happy about it. But in terms of how life is and your freedoms and how enjoyable life is compared to what you had now and in the past, well, it's going to be fucking shite, to be honest. You are going to be miserable. So, yeah, again, the clock's ticking, really. Like, again, the clock's pretty much ran out. I mean, you've got till it goes full blown and they start bringing in fucking curfews and shit because of a civil war possibly in Britain here. And then you've got no chance here, no chance at all. The final card has been cast, so to speak. So yeah, it's ultimately brace for bagwash again. We've been saying stock up on stuff and fucking well yeah, prepare for bagwash because it doesn't look like the zombies are gonna come to our aid here. Doesn't look like it. We'll leave it there. Peace.